When you think of Dakota State University, you may think technology. Well, the college in Madison is well known for its cyber programs. In tonight's Eye on KELOLAND, Kelly Volk heads to Dakota State to find out how the university got its cyber mission.
Andon Weisler's love for computers goes back to childhood. Today, Weisler is studying cyber operations with a computer science minor at DSU.
I was just like, okay, yeah, this is just like a common sense step for me to take.
Dakota State was founded more than 140 years ago with a mission of teacher education. Emeritus Associate Professor of Computing Tom Farrell graduated from the school in 1970. He then started teaching physical education at Dakota State.
We were the small university or college at that point in time.
In fact, he said there were even talks of closing the school at times. But a big change came in February of 1984. That's when then-Governor Bill Janklow signed a bill changing the college's mission to include technology in all programs.
It's one thing to get legislation passed. It's another thing to have that legislation there. But then what had to happen is Dakota State had to do what they said they were going to do.
That meant it was time to gear up for the new mission.
And our corporate partners, Citibank, steps up and says, you have the space, we'll give you a mainframe computer. IBM steps into it and says, well, if you have faculty, you can send them to our internal education.
Farrell was one of those faculty members who traveled to Irving, Texas for training. He then returned to DSU to teach computer programming to students.
To me, it became extremely rewarding and challenging. It was very pressure-driven. That first 5-week course, I would have to say of my entire life, I've never felt as much pressure as I did then. Not only knowing that I had to know what to do, but I had to take that to the next level of knowing how to teach what I knew.
This year, Dakota State University is marking 40 years since that legislation was signed.
I mean, it's actually a very foresightful kind of change to make. I don't think anybody in 1984 had an idea of how technology was truly going to change things. I mean, if you look at the predictions at that time, they weren't even sure that people would have a computer on their desks.
President Yosei Marie Griffiths says it's the university's challenge to remain open to new technology in the future.
Now, today, I say, could we look forward to the next 40 years? What's 2060 going to be like? And obviously, we're going to have more artificial intelligence. We're going to have more human-machine teaming. We're going to have more capabilities that we haven't thought of.
Weisler calls the 40-year milestone incredible.
Not much cyber stuff tends to happen in the middle of the country. We typically think California, coastal states, having stuff like that. Having something like that in the middle of the country right here for all of us to access is really great.
With Eye on KELOLAND, I'm Kelly Volk.
All students at DSU, regardless of their major, take technology courses.